We have Tim Deutschmann here from Littlebit. Welcome, Tim.
Thank you.
Tim, difficult times, not only for retail, but also for distribution. It's kind of difficult to get hold on CPUs and media players and everything, or?
It is, that's absolutely correct. I mean, we're obviously a very large system assembler, building a lot of computer systems just for the Swiss market alone. It's around about 20,000 devices per year. And what we currently find is specifically now with the beginning of the second quarter that the shortages predominantly on CPUs and memory chips is increasing massively. So talking to some of the peers within Intel, for instance, we have now been told that the peak will be in June, and we can estimate a supply at a level of about 20% of the actual market demand. So if you look at that realistically, it will have a severe impact on the midterm, realization of projects.
Yeah. Unfortunately, where everyone expects, Q3 or especially Q4, that the business is picking up again, but unfortunately then the shortage will really hit, right?
I absolutely believe there will be a knock-on effect because it's not just CPUs, it's memory chips, SSDs, RAM, whatever you need in order to build a computer. And the same semiconductors are partially used to build large format displays, for instance. So we've already been warned by some of our partners, like LG, for instance, that there might be certain shortages on some of the SKUs which you need. So it really is crucial that our partners, the integrators, the channel partners, are looking at what projects are there in the pipeline and how am I going to manage this with regards to the timeline and the availability.
Yeah. Tim, talking about media players. It's a special business for you. You're quite involved into that. So you're assembling. You have your own brand, I think, of media players. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah. Our own brand is called Active. Littlebit Technology actually was founded over 20 years ago as a system assembler. So initially we imported bare bones from Asia in order to build notebooks. They were designed to be the Swiss business notebook. And out of that actually developed a business where we are nowadays supplying computers from very small Intel NUC-based all the way up to large rack mount systems. It's not only for media players, whereby that is a very large part of our business, but we also supply any kind of B2B resellers, distributors, channel partners, which are then using our computer systems in order to build up the computer infrastructure of the customer or in order to create larger rollouts. Now, the benefit of our business model is that we have a build-to-order configurator, so our reseller partner can go online, can create their own configuration as it is needed for the specific project, and this works from one unit onwards. So for us, it doesn't really matter if we're manufacturing 1 unit or 50 or 500. We do have our own production capacities over here in Switzerland, and we are currently looking at building another production line in Germany in order to deal with the increased demand.
But talking about demand, there's also a large growing demand for white label services, which because integrators are not able to do everything themselves. Is it more than just supplying hardware for you? You can also play on images, put images on it, and what else?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. So over the years, I joined a little bit over 10 years ago actually, and what we've developed now is literally through to demand. Customers have been asking us if we could install the customized image on that, if we could draw the image, if we could actually help building it up in the first place. And so over the years, we've built an array of white label services, starting at consulting services, so talking to, if the integrator and reseller wants us to the end customer directly in a first joint meeting to establish what is actually the need, where does the customer want to take this installation, then all the way through via the technical aspects, via the assembling, via fulfillment services, and then at the end of the day we are also able to supply our customers, our resellers, with operational concepts. So the majority of the hardware which we are supplying is able to be managed remotely, which obviously aids, the reliability of a digital signage installation.
Absolutely. So you really believe that for you as a distributor at the end of the day, value add is really the future. You need to add more than just box moving at it.
Yeah, we have been doing that over the last 10 years, and it has proven that specifically that part, we call them service level agreements, are very much sought after by our partners. So if you take someone like a large integrator, Bechtle Group for instance, they're happily taking this on board because they're able to supply their customers with an added value. They don't have to do themselves. For them, it's purchasing from us and invoicing through, but it's a very interesting business model because you constantly have your foot in the door. You always have a connection to the customer as a reseller, and obviously after a certain period of about 4 to 5 years, there might be the investment in new hardware.
Last but not least, we have one main question. The main question is, is it possible to successfully sell software through distribution? Because we have seen so many failures and so many ISVs try to sell it and it never worked. Do you know why?
It's an interesting question. Okay, we've been struggling with that with some of our partners as well.
You're not the only one.
I know, and I've been dabbling in that market now for over 20 years. However, in some aspects, with some of our software providers, it actually works very well because we bundle it directly with the hardware. So one of the customers, when we talk about digital signage, suppliers, is YCD Multimedia. So their software, we are like their core partner for the DACH region, and our systems are optimized to their software. So we're working very closely when customer demands and inquiries are coming in, and that's where we actually have a distribution model bundled with the hardware. So that works. That's okay, but we also have to offer a lot of support on that. So our technical team is highly trained on that software in order to give support. But we do the same with LG, with Samsung, with some other suppliers of digital signage software.
So selling software is much more than just selling a license. It's really, you have to do the whole packaging and really help enable your partners to sell a digital signage solution.
And that's where this consulting part comes from. So we really need to understand where does the customer want to take it, because there's such a wide array. I think it's about 210 different software providers for digital signage within the DACH region alone. So you really need to know who is doing what. And how can you optimize this in the concept of the whole installation of the whole project? And that's what we're trying to do and put together. And it seems to work very well.
Fantastic. Well, thanks, Tim, for being our guest today, and I hope to speak to you soon. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.